The T-34, an overrated icon of World War II. The T-34 tank is often celebrated as one of the most revolutionary and effective weapons of World War II, credited with playing a pivotal role in the Soviet Union's victory over Nazi Germany. Its sloping armor, powerful 76.2 mm and later 85 mm gun, and mobility are frequently highlighted as groundbreaking features that set new standards for tank design. However, while the T-34 was undoubtedly a significant development in armored warfare, its reputation as the best tank of the war is often overstated. A closer examination reveals numerous flaws, including quality control issues, mechanical unreliability, poor crew ergonomics, and limited visibility, which undermine its status as an infallible war machine. Quality control and manufacturing issues. One of the most significant criticisms of the T-34 lies in its manufacturing quality. The Soviet Union, under immense pressure to produce tanks in large quantities, prioritized quantity over quality. This led to widespread issues with the tank's construction. The rushed production process often resulted in poorly finished components, including uneven armor plating, misaligned parts, and substandard welding. These defects not only compromised the tank's structural integrity, but also made it more vulnerable to enemy fire. The transmission and engine, in particular, were notorious for their unreliability. The T-34's V2 diesel engine, while innovative for its time, was prone to breakdowns due to poor manufacturing standards. Similarly, the tank's transmission was notoriously fragile, often failing after only a few hundred kilometers of operation. This mechanical unreliability meant that many T-34s were lost not to enemy action, but to mechanical failures, leaving them stranded on the battlefield. The problem was exacerbated by the lack of adequate maintenance and repair infrastructure, as well as the insufficient training of many Soviet tank crews. Crew ergonomics and comfort. Another major drawback of the T-34 was its cramped and uncomfortable interior. The tank's design prioritized simplicity and ease of production over crew comfort, resulting in a fighting compartment that was notoriously tight. The crew of 4, commander, gunner, loader, and driver, had to operate in extremely confined conditions, which severely impacted their effectiveness in combat. The commander, for example, was burdened with multiple roles, including loading the gun and directing the tank, as early models lacked a dedicated loader. This overloading of responsibilities reduced the tank's combat efficiency, as the commander could not focus solely on tactical decision-making. Additionally, the lack of a turret basket meant that the crew had to manually rotate the turret, further slowing response times in combat situations. The driver's position was equally problematic. Access to the driver's seat was awkward, requiring the individual to climb over the transmission. Once inside, the driver had limited visibility and had to rely on a single periscope, which was often of poor quality. This lack of situational awareness made it difficult for the driver to navigate the battlefield effectively, increasing the risk of accidents and ambushes. Visibility issues. Visibility was a critical weakness of the T-34. The tank's design incorporated minimal vision slots and periscopes, which severely restricted the crew's ability to observe their surroundings. The commander's cupola, when present, offered limited visibility, and early models lacked this feature entirely. This poor visibility made it difficult for the crew to spot enemy threats, such as anti-tank guns or infantry armed with Panzerfausts, reducing the tank's survivability in combat. The problem was compounded by the tank's lack of effective communication systems. Early models of the T-34 did not have radios, forcing crews to rely on signal flags or hand gestures to communicate with other tanks. This lack of coordination made it difficult for Soviet tank units to execute complex maneuvers or respond quickly to changing battlefield conditions. Combat effectiveness and tactical limitations. While the T-34's sloping armor and powerful gun were undeniably effective, these advantages were often offset by its numerous shortcomings. The tank's mechanical unreliability meant that many units were unable to reach the battlefield, while those that did often broke down during combat operations. The cramped interior and poor visibility further reduced the crew's effectiveness, making it difficult for them to exploit the tank's theoretical advantages. Moreover, the T-34's reputation as a war-winning weapon must be viewed in the context of the Soviet Union's overall strategy. The Red Army relied on mass production and numerical superiority to overwhelm the enemy, often at great cost in terms of men and materiel. While the T-34 played a significant role in this strategy, its success was as much a product of sheer numbers as it was of superior design. Conclusion: the T-34 was undoubtedly an important tank that influenced the course of World War II and the future of armored warfare. Its sloping armor, powerful gun, and mobility represented significant advancements in tank design. However, its reputation as the best tank of the war is largely overstated. The T-34's numerous flaws, including poor manufacturing quality, mechanical unreliability, cramped crew conditions, and limited visibility, significantly undermined its effectiveness on the battlefield. While the T-34 was a symbol of Soviet industrial might and resilience, its success was as much a product of the Soviet Union's ability to produce vast numbers of tanks as it was of the tank's inherent qualities. In evaluating the T-34's legacy, it is important to recognize both its strengths and its limitations, rather than succumbing to the myth of its invincibility. The T-34 was a formidable weapon, but it was far from perfect, and its overrated status often obscures the harsh realities faced by its crews and the broader context of its use in World War II. Please support the channel by hitting like and subscribe.